Hey Jeff, I'm hitting recording. Hey everybody, this is Ann Primazon, and Dory is actually not here. She had an emergency, she could not be here, and I want to just tell you that it's Jeff and me. This is who you got today. So we're going to cover keyword research. Jeff, can we just do a couple of tests? First, can you see my screen where you see Dory's picture and my picture?
You know what? All I see, maybe you have your screen paused. I just see the intermediate boot camp seven-step magic. So maybe you might need to unpause your screen sharing.
Can
But
you see it now?
I see it on the slides on the left. But I still see the intermediate boot camp seven-step page pulled up right now.
Really? Because I already changed that screen.
Weird. If you look on the GoToMeeting main toolbar, is
Yeah,
it paused or do you have play enabled for the show my screen?
there's like four different things. Hold on one second.
Should be very very top left.
Do you
Or
see it
maybe
now?
much better. There we are. Good job.
Okay, so
All
you
right.
can see it
Yes, absolutely. Move your mouse a little bit across the screen or highlight
over
some
here.
text or something.
Highlight text. I
Okay,
just
perfect. Looks good. Looks good. Can you guys see it okay?
yes. If we could get a hello, 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 if
Yeah,
everybody
in
could
fact, guys,
type
you know
that.
what? Guys, I'll do something I usually do, and this is Jeff, of course. Do us a favor. Let us know you're paying attention. Give us a quick shout out, and let us know where you're from. Number one, that's two things. Number one, I find it genuinely fascinating to know where people are from, and number two, it shows us you're paying attention. So if you guys don't mind, using your little keyboards there, I don't mean physically shout because we won't be able to hear you unless you're next door, which might be kind of awkward. But if you can just do it, quick type in the chat box,
And
let us know where
everybody
you're
is
from.
saying under questions because that's where Joyce Dory usually has them typed. So if you
Oh,
look under
correct. I'm sorry. Yeah.
questions, Jess, you're just going to hear. So I can see that people are seeing us, and I still see a lot of familiar names. So I'm just going to go ahead and good day, guys, from Lewis. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this. Some of this are things that you may have heard some of Dory go over, but the goal is for Jeff and I really to hit the keyword research. And if Dory will be back next week. So with that, let's see here. It's
You
interesting
guys are.
because my can you still see my screen?
Yeah, this says the seven steps to
Yeah.
search engine magic. Then step
Yeah,
one
there
just
we
popped
go.
up.
So as we all know, Dory, these are Dory's seven steps. Jeff does it his way, Ann does it her way, and Dory does it her way. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is she always talks about buying the ancient domain. Then she talks about creating the social profiles, which we've gone over twice in the intermediate class. She went over very clearly how to buy an old domain and how to create social profiles. Today we're going to talk about keywords, and this is the hidden keyword piece. And then she goes into copycat ranking, how to really build a foundation by creating a baseline for which you're going to do things, how to really talk to Google, develop your pages and on site, and of course, how to gather votes by getting backlinks. So, what we're going to start with today is what she calls the hidden keywords, or really choosing your keywords. And I find that this is fascinating for me because as from owning an agency, I usually get keywords for other people. And as everybody knows that we did a test with the site and we wanted to see how that site ranked, etc., and how we were going to start with no keywords at all. And I want to share with you just some different techniques and some of the philosophy behind this. Dory went over some of this in one of her webinars. So if you've seen some of this, know that Jeff and I are going to do some live demonstrations, and hopefully you'll be able to learn some things here. And Jeff, I'm from Texas, so I talk really fast, but I want to
So do
say
I.
that I think you talk faster than me. So slow me down, bro, if I get going too fast,
Nah,
okay?
you are fine. You're good. You're good.
Okay, so casting a wide net, building a site that captures and a lot of traffic using long tail keywords. So casting a wide net, about 5 years ago when Google really started pulling away from AdSense and started creating different things in their AdWords platform, and they introduced the display network. They went from advertising with word ads to display ads, and they created a term called casting a wide net. But actually, when you cast the wide net, how they really talked about it was all from an advertising standpoint. But those of us who have done SEO for a long time had been doing this for a while. And I want to talk about this because it's so very important. There's really two types of keywords when you really look at it. And in the course that I did, I talked about doing keyword research. Jeff talks about it. Greg talks about it. Lisa talks about it. Dory talks about it. Anybody who's in this business is going to talk about it. But what I want to be sure that everybody understands, and the best way to go and to get things like this, is to look at monster and long tail keywords. Right? This is really what you're going to want to know, because you need to understand one or two phrases that get a lot of searches and traffic. Those are great. Like, a lot of times when I bring somebody into the agency, they're going to say that they want to rank for things like homes. That's like, you don't want to rank for homes. A million people, those are competitive, very low converting. But there's an education curve, or somebody will say, I bet that if I rank for money, I'm going to make lots of money. And it's really
No, no, you
educating.
won't.
No, you won't. That's correct. So, you want to go for the long tail keywords, multiple phrases or keywords that are very targeted but less competitive. Last week, I can't remember who asked the question, but um, they had said, Ann, you're ranking for Seal Beach SEO, but I mean, they didn't say it like this, but they basically implied, really, who cares? There's like 10 searches on that. It's like so low. But those 10 searches are very targeted, and that was my answer. And we're going to go into this just a little bit, because long tail keywords are really the land of opportunity. This is really how to approach, whether you're doing launch jacking like Jeff does, whether you're building an email list, whether you're building a site for yourself that's a money site, whether you're building PBN sites, private or public, whether you're building email lists or you're doing reputation management. Understanding these concepts and really knowing how to really make them work for you will benefit you in any niche on the web and in any opportunity that the web has to offer. So let's chase some tail. Here's a dinosaur, right? Number of results is on one side, it's more generic, and as you follow the tail, it's more specific. And when you look at this from a chart, you can see high cost and competition on the left. And if you look right here where it says high cost and competition, this is because one of the factors that many people use when they make a decision is they look at the competition by looking at how Google ads display. So if you have a high cost ad, meaning it's $50 a click versus 5 cents a click, you know that has a lot of competition. So this is what I was meaning like homes before. So if you want to look for the word shoes, you can understand very simply, if you look for shoes, that's one thing, but men's shoes, it's going to be lower cost because it's more defined. If you go to Nike women's running shoes, you can see this, and it yields more of an average. Now, for me, when I look at this, I think of things more like this. First of all, let me just tell you, I'm a big girl and I have huge feet. All my friends laugh at me because I wear a size 11. That is right. I'm being vulnerable. You can make fun of me, but that's just the truth. I have huge feet. So if I wanted to look for shoes and I was to say, running shoes, size 11, women's, and I put a brand there, I'm going to fall way over here. But I'll tell you what, if I look for that, somebody's going to say, well, who in the world is going to look for that? Well, you know who's going to look for that? Somebody that wants to buy size 11 shoes from some site that's going to talk back to me. That's how that kind of works. So when you think of monster keywords, logo design, so whenever you do a search and you put something in Google, right under it, it's going to tell you how many people have that. So if you look for logo design, there's 967 million results. I mean, guys, that's freaking nutbag kind of talking there. If you put in Labrador, 89 million, 400,000 results. So the chances of these being great words, even though they're monster keywords, and even if you got in the number one position, that being something that is a decision word, something that is going to really help drive traffic. It's not going to be nearly as helpful as Logo Designer 95640 with 71,600 results. And sometimes when people don't understand that, they'll say, well, anybody can rank for that. It's like, really? So if you were to go look at that and this is the results that you get, you want to rank for that because that's something that somebody's going to put in that zip code. If you put in Labrador puppies in Seal Beach, California, 197,000 results, it's going to be harder to rank than the logo designer with that zip code. But the point is, it's very clear what somebody wants when they click that in. So the person who wins at that game is going to do better. If we turn to Google, Google started introducing auto suggestions and
Actually,
relevant.
real quick, Ann, can I give an example myself, a niche example?
Yeah.
One example I like to explain, guys, when people are building websites. I had a student a couple years ago building a website on acne, on acne solutions, how to get rid of acne, etc. And one of the keywords that we found, if people search for acne, okay, they could be doing a science project, they could be doing research, they might just be curious to what causes it. Acne, while it's an amazing keyword with a lot of search volume, it's really not a high converting keyword for a get rid of acne type of solution. So, but we found the more detailed the search goes, whether it be for a local business, for logo design, like for example, the keyword, how to get rid of whiteheads on my nose. That
Oh,
is,
that is gross.
yeah, but that's an example. That's what people search for. But guys, that is ridiculously long-tailed as it gets, and that is a person that knows exactly what they want. How to get rid of whiteheads on my nose, or even if we look at weight loss, how to lose weight on my face, how to lose weight on my thighs. People searching for best diets to lose weight or best exercise to lose weight. The longer tail, the more specific you get, the more the likelihood is improved of that being a money or a converting keyword. So this applies to anything, whether it's local or niche related.
So thank you, Jeff. I agree 100%. And where we turn to Google, I'm going to show you some examples, and then I'm going to show you some things live. So if you can let Jeff know now what some of your niches are, or some things that you would like to know about, we'll do some of those live for you today. I'll just show you some of those of some simple ways to do it. But I'm going to kind of break some things down for you so that everybody can kind of understand this. So see, autocomplete suggestions we'll go over and relevant keywords at the bottom of every page. So if you go and you look for argan oil, 2 million results. But the thing is every single time you go and you look for something, I want everybody to start. See, most of the time when you land on a page, you're going to notice shopping. You're going to notice the ads on the right, the ads up here. And this below the ads is where all of the organic search is. But here's what I want everybody to start noticing. Every single time you're doing a search now is to scroll to the bottom, because Google is going to tell you very clearly these are the searches that are related to argan oil. So as you start to look at this, what I want you to do when you start doing your own keyword research is I want you to take these things and to make a list. This is a simple thing. You just paste them in a text doc, right? So then what happens is you click on another one and you click on one of those terms and you're going to dig deeper. And when you do that, argan oil for skin, what are you going to do? You're going to scroll down. And you're going to copy all of these also, because as Dory would say, panning for bigger gold nuggets. You're going to copy all of those. And then you're going to have a longer list on it, some text file someplace, right? You're going to paste them all in. And now we make the gold shiny. And we start with keyword starters. How to wash your face with, what did Jeff say? How to get rid of big whiteheads on your face that has fat. I forgot exactly what you said, Jeff, but it was pretty funny. Benefits of argan oil, the best argan oil. Why use argan oil? What is argan oil? Who uses? And you start to look at these different things, and then you put it in to the search engine. And every single time you put it into the search engine, it's always going to give you searches related to how to use it. You always want to copy those down. And the reason why you do that is you want to start to separate the real gold from the fool's gold. And you keep the gems and you discard the rest. you rinse and repeat. So what's going to happen is as you sort them, and it's interesting today, one of my staff, he didn't understand how to do that in Excel. Maybe I'll try and bring up a list and show you guys. It might be too much, but in essence, if you had all of those lists that were on a text file and you dropped it into Excel and you just grouped everything together and you did it alphabetically, you would start to know and delete the duplicates that come up from those kinds of searches, and you would get a really nice list. And that list that you're going to get is going to be perfect because you're going to be able to focus on your content or the emails that you're going to write. It's going to, be able to give you the ability to ask and answer questions because you always want to have good content.
By the
And
way, Aaron, I don't know when you're going to stop. I've got a few niches if you want to get into that in a few minutes also.
we will. I'm going to go live with the niches, Jeff. So
Okay,
I want
beautiful.
to get through that, and then we'll just go live and we'll do those so that everybody can
Awesome.
see how to do that. So then here you have, how to use argan oil for skin, and you're always going to keep adding to this, right? And then you're going to create some content and videos. So I want to go live. We're in here. We've got 45 minutes left together. Dory's not here, as you all know. She usually does really long presentations. But what I want to talk about is I like going live with things. So that's what I want to do. And I want to start by, um,
By the way, Aaron, I
yeah,
lost. Hold on a second here. I no longer see your screen. It just shows me the presenter screen.
it just shows you do you see my dogs?
No, I see nothing. Do you guys see her screen?
Hold on
All
a
I see is
second.
all I see
Hold
is
on
the
a
white.
second. Do you see
Yeah,
it
no one.
now?
No, everyone lost it. It looks like I
Okay, hold
just see
on a
the.
minute. Hold on
Sure thing.
now.
No worries.
What about now?
Perfect. Back up. We're live.
We're live, back up,
I
and we're
see.
live. Do you see my dogs on my screen, or do you see this Google thing right here?
I see your Google Analytics page. So we are live from Orange County.
Okay, live from Orange County, but I'm not in my analytics screen so that everybody knows because I want to be
Hang on,
really
hang on.
clear. I'm in Google Webmaster
But
Tools. And so why I'm in Google Webmaster Tools, and I can actually, maybe I should log out and come back in. So when I asked everybody when they built their websites to go in here, but when you go into your Google Webmaster Tools and you go into the search traffic and you look at search analytics right from Google, right from your site, when you get here, they immediately show you your search queries, and they do it by clicks, impressions. CTR means click-through rate, and this means position. So I'm going to click everything because I want you to understand how I approach um, a site that's already built or a new site. So everybody knows that this is a pretty new site because you guys have been, traveling the road with me. And as you can see here, as I come down, I haven't had a lot of visitors to this site. 57 have come for Seal Beach SEO, and let's look at the time date. This is from July 8th to August 4th, so almost a month. So not a lot of traffic, right? 57 clicks for this, 2 clicks for SEO Seal Beach, 1 click for National Night Out Seal Beach. And just so that you know, in my community, this was something that was held in a huge Target parking lot where I don't know if your community had it. And so what it then shows is even though somebody didn't click on the site, it shows the impressions where the site showed up. So in Google's vernacular, when you have a click, this means they've actually visited. When it's an impression, it means that your site was put in front of them. The click-through rate says, listen, you've got 11.95% of the traffic that came. That's huge. And this shows the position. So what I do when I go here is I sort by position, and I can immediately see how Google ranks this site. So you can say to yourself, okay, well, and you've not even optimized, you've not even looked for Seal Beach SEO firm, but it's in position 3. So I wouldn't have even known that if I didn't come here and look. So people might say, well, if you're there and you have it put it on your site, how are you there? It's how Google will identify similar terms. Like if you have house, houses, home, homestead, ranch house, I don't know. I'm just thinking of several different things. So maybe I put Seal Beach SEO Services Agency and they chose the word firm. So I'm in position 3 for that. Well, what this does is this tells me, hey, you know what? I might want to go write an article for this to keep this up. If I was doing launch jacking, I might, if I mean, I'm trying to think, Jeff, you might jump in here, but it's going to tell you what your site is already ranking for. And the cool thing about this is you can start to say to yourself, how do I stay here for the long run? What is it that I want to rank for so that I can continue to grow my site? And if you take a site like Dory always talks about rebuilding an age domain site, you can rebuild an age domain site and use the actual content and see if it's still getting traffic. Jeff, you want to add anything here before I move
Well,
on?
yeah, guys. Well, what I will do when I use Webmaster Tools myself, I'll look at the keywords bringing in traffic, and I'll say, okay, number one, either how can I better optimize to get more traffic from this phrase, or number two, can I maybe build out additional pages on that? So you guys will see, if you'll scroll down a little bit for me, she's getting traffic for Long Beach SEO, which is right next door, for Belmont Shore SEO, for I think I saw
No,
Sunset
no,
Beach
no.
SEO.
I'm getting impressions, so I'm not getting
Impressions.
traffic.
I'm sorry, my bad.
I'm
Impressions.
getting,
My
yeah,
bad.
that's what I'm getting impressions for. Yeah.
My bad, my bad. Sorry about that. That's what I meant. I just
Yeah, I
think
know.
faster than I talk sometimes. But no, she's getting impressions for that. So what she could do possibly is build out a separate page, perhaps, for Long Beach SEO Agency, Belmont Shores SEO, or Belmont Shore SEO, Sunset Beach SEO, etc. And so you can do this with any site, whether it's a launch jack. I mean, some of the best keywords I've gotten before when I was doing Profit Academy. The launch for Profit Academy, I saw my site was getting a lot of traffic for this Profit Academy work. And so I built up a page 5 minutes later, ranking optimized for the phrase "this Profit Academy work." I pinged it so Google would see it quickly. I was indexed and ranked number one the next day for "does Profit Academy work?" or "does Profit Academy really work?" And I forget the exact amount of traffic that one brought me, but it brought me a few hundred clicks for that phrase I wouldn't have thought about, and a few sales, which resulted in a few thousand in commissions. Obviously, things are going to be a lot more of a rapid pace when it comes to launch jacking, but I mean, you can do this with any business, and a great example's in front of us. I mean, she's not even optimizing for Long Beach SEO Agency,
Right.
Sunset Beach SEO.
Exactly. And one of the things that everybody needs to remember about this, I mean, this site was built as a test site. So, my own, mind, I mean, I'm an optimist, but don't think I'm not kidding myself. Some of you have come to check this site out. You don't live in Seal Beach. I mean, that's going to skew the numbers. I mean, truly, that's going to skew the numbers. But what I can tell you is somehow out of 2 impressions for National Night Out Seal Beach, I very seriously doubt that you guys looked for that. So you can say, okay, Ann, you're in position 10 for that. I didn't know I was in position 10. And that's what happens as a site starts to age and as you start to add content. So I wanted to show you this so that you can start to understand where you're at and how to start to build more content. So then you say, okay, well, Ann, that's for your own site. Thanks for sharing. Now I see how you do that. But what do we do about other sites? How do we go and get that? So one of the things that I want to share is this is called Google Trends. And could I just get a shout out from everybody who has used, not heard of, but used Google Trends so that I can get an idea of how many people have actually used it. Have you used it, Jeff?
Oh, all the time. I love it. And I can see a bunch of yeses now. I see a few no's, a few not sure what it is. But yeah, I use it as an amazing tool. And again, it's free data Google's given you, which is awesome.
Yeah, you just look up Google Trends. So I'm going to explore topics. Can you give me one of the topics that came up, Jeff?
Yeah, let's go ahead and scroll up here. Give me a moment here. Okay, Richard suggested Halloween costumes. It might be early for that, but let's try and see what happens.
Hallow. I don't even know if I'm going to spell this right.
2 L's, but
That's okay. Halloween.
Costumes. You got it.
Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you is this search tells me, look, September is where October is where it hits every year, right? But I did this as Halloween costumes. That's all I did to get the trend. So this is in news headlines. Now I can click forecast. Well, let's see if I unclick this. Well, it's not going to let me click forecast. If you scroll down here, it's going to tell you where the interest is. So let's say we really only want to know about this in the United States. Okay, but as I scroll down here, guess what it gives me? All of the queries from the world for Halloween costumes for Halloween, Halloween ideas, Halloween costume ideas. You guys get it. Now I'm going to break this down a little bit. If I was to say, okay, well, let's just look in the United States. So now we look in the United States. Well, guess where the best place is? West Virginia. Same terms down here. Now you say, okay, well, West Virginia, Kentucky, Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota. So you say, okay, well, I want to see just in West Virginia. And you click on this, and it's going to start to tell you who really buys them. So, Richard, what I would say to you is if I might say for Charleston, Huntington, West Virginia, if you look at this, it even breaks it down to the little areas of where people are searching. So when you think about how to really optimize for Halloween costumes, you might say best kids costume in Prestonburg, West Virginia. It's how, oh, I see, this says Ohio, Charleston, Huntington, West Virginia. I don't know how that works. But I want everybody to go in and
I think it shows neighboring areas because it showed DC as well. I think it's going to be West Virginia and maybe surrounding states.
Yeah. If you come up here and you say, okay, well, and you're in all categories, let's see if we can do something that's a little, let's break it down and let's see if there's something, people in society. We'll go into shopping. We'll just look into shopping. And you see everything kind of changes. Now I'm going to go back from regional interest. I'm going to look at, I don't even want to compare. I want to go back to, I'm in California, so let's just go up to California here. So I'm going to look at this in California. And you can kind of see over a timeline where this is at. And you can see Bakersfield, etc., all of the places. And you can look in Los Angeles, if you break this down. Now, this is like little areas kind of all around the Los Angeles Metroplex. These are actual cities. So
Irvine, what?
Yeah, that's where Jeff lives, by the way, is Irvine. So this just shows you some ways that you can go and search for some of these things for yourself. Now, I want to tell you that I'm showing you things that are free right now. And when you think about things that are free, you have to ask yourself, okay, well, what if I want to spend money? What if I don't? What if I want to look up a term and I want to go Halloween costumes to Christmas sweaters? And I want to compare the two.
Nice.
You know, it starts to give you the ability to do that. I mean, if you had to choose between that, I mean, Halloween costumes just kicks Christian sweaters' ass. But you can kind of see where the notes are and the highs are. So it just kind of helps you just kind of know a little bit. Just want you to go play around with that. It's just some free ways that you can really start to see kind of what your markets are. Now, almost every person who does SEO talks about this thing called the keyword planner. And they use the keyword planner because it literally shows you how Google advertises. So if you go to let's see here, if you're actually at Google and you were to type in not keyword planner but keyword preview, let's see if they still have that. I want to see. It's not the AdWords preview tool. So let's see here how to use. So when you're in the AdWords preview tool, whether you're logged in or not, okay, because I have an account, but I'm not going to log in to show you this. So if I wanted to say, for example, what is my competition, and I don't have a dollar to spend on anything at all, and I want to see if people are adding, if people are paying yet for Halloween costumes. And I can look at any Google area. So for those of you who are international, you can just do this drop down. And this is adwords.google.com. It's called the AdWords Preview Tool. I'm going to look in English, and I'm searching from Long Beach. This is my location. But let's say I wanted to search from Austin, Texas. Okay? So this is a little trick for anybody that wants to know what is ranking in that area. If I ask for a preview, two things happen. It pretends like I'm sitting in Austin, Texas. That's the first thing I want to tell you. The second thing I want to show you is it shows you the ads, and then it shows you what's ranking on the maps, and it shows you what's ranking on the images. Now, none of these really work because it's a preview tool, meaning, I don't think that you can actually click on it. Maybe you can. But as you go down, it shows you what your competition is. So why am I showing you this? To show you competition for every single thing that's free. I mean, in the tools on Page One Engine, Dory shows you how to do a domain audit and link density. There's a way to put a site in so you can put your competitor in, and it'll show you the keywords that they're ranking on. But you have to know those keywords first. So this is just some ways that you can go and do that. Now, using the keyword planner in the AdWords community, you have to have an AdWords account. So, this keyword planner, you have to sign in and create an account. So a free AdWords tool, it's great, but you still have to have this account here and do this. And I actually have an account, and I will show you how this works. Let's see here. I can't do it as this login though. Jeff, will you talk for a minute? I'm going to bring it up on my other screen, and then I'll be able to do that a little better.
Yeah, wow, pressure. What do I say? Let me go ahead and do this little dance I've been practicing. Hold on a second. All right, how was that?
That was great. That was great. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I need to log into another Google account.
No problem at all. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of the questions here. That's a long one.
It's okay. You can ask a long one.
No.
I like it. There's always somebody who's always like, geez, why are you doing it like this? I always like the grumpy ones too.
Those are fun. Jessica's not grumpy, are you, Jessica? It's just a novel little question. Let's see. Her niche is veterinary. She's a public health veterinarian for national health, animal health emergencies. Wow, Jessica, that's awesome. I could not do that. It'd break my heart, to be honest with you. My blog has a multitude of interests: pets, vegetarian and vegan recipes, reviews, and travel. I like to use it as a money site and use other websites connecting to my money site to do affiliate marketing or lodgejacking. Wow. Okay, my content is mostly in posts, not pages. That's fine. I know Google ranks pages. Google loves posts and pages, everything.
Yeah.
A good keyword for each page to be travel with name of site page, or pet with name of site page. I don't really get it, like travel with jessicasvet.com or pets. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I can tell you that if she does veterinarian, I think probably the best thing that we can do for you is to come over here to this, and I'll show you two ways, and we'll just go, Jeff,
Perfect.
veterinary medicine or physician. She has.
She has a veterinary. She says she's just veterinary in general, I think. So let's just try a veterinary and see what comes up. I don't know.
Okay. Let's see if it's trending. See, you can already see the drop down. They're saying physician or medicine. I don't think this is the veterinary. I don't know if that's the right thing. Let's just see here.
Let's see.
There we go. Veterinary for dogs. I'm in all things. So look, it's on the uprise.
Or maybe veterinarian instead of veterinary. I think veterinary is more of a general phrase, but maybe try veterinarian for dogs.
Okay, look at this, guys.
Well, there we are.
They didn't have Jack, and then all of a sudden in 2008, high point was 2009, and we're on an upswing, partial data. I mean, 83 in, when was this?
July 2015.
Yeah, 83. I mean, so that's pretty good, and all of that's in I have it in the US. So if we click on that, we can see really kind of where. So this is good to know. So like if you were to do AdWords, you can know automatically kind of where these are the top few states. See, can we see what state she's in? I'm from Texas. I'll go click on Texas to
Yeah,
see
search for Texas.
and there's not enough search volume to really show for this. But if we
She's in Virginia, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, there's
Sorry
not
for cutting.
enough search volume. So, I mean, this just kind of gets you to be able to see. Let's look at pets and animals. Instead of all over, when I look at pets and animals, it changes. And then I'm going to bring this screen over. Tell me if you can see this. Did you see me bring this over?
Yeah, your keyword planner, definitely.
Okay, let me get into here. So this, for example, if I use a term like I think I just killed that.
I'd be last two on that one. Don't worry.
It's all right. I've got it over here spelled correctly. But I just want to show everybody, just kind of how it actually works, so that I can actually do a search. So that because I feel like sometimes, when an expert says you just go into Keyword Planner and it's super easy to do, it's like, what are you talking about? It's not so easy to do. You have to understand what it is that you're looking for. I'm just going all over the place here. So hold on a minute. So it'll ask you for your landing page. So since I don't know that you have a landing page, I'm just going to choose CEA Caesar Milan.com.
I think you spelled Caesar wrong. It's I think it's CESAR.
CE. God, we're just sucking all over the place, aren't we?
It's funny, guys. When you're focused on talking on the webinars, it's easier to make simple mistakes. I do that myself all the time.
Okay, so here I'm going to go for all categories, and I'm just going to get ideas. And so this immediately, what it does is it starts to tell you all of these groups of keywords by relevance. So this is called an ad group idea. And I'm going to go out of the ad group idea to the keyword ideas. And as soon as I do that, it's going to start telling me, isn't this interesting? Whatever happens, it's looking at domain parking. I would have never thought of that in a million years. Ever. And you can search by competition, and I'm sure that you guys have already seen in every one of the experts, they'll say these are the high keywords, so you want to try and go to the low to medium. So there's 724 keywords. So I'm going to go to the end and see if we can go backwards. So I know I'm going kind of fast. I don't think this was the best example. Let's see, I'm seeing if there's anything that is more animal related. Pets medical. I don't know that you get anything with that, but this is how they do that. I'm just going to try another term for. I'm going to go back to Halloween costumes. Or is there anything else, Jeff?
You mean regarding pets? You mean like phrase ideas?
No.
Or
Any other niches?
I mean, tons of them. Yeah. And by the way, Richard mentioned this is paid search competition, not SEO competition. Correct. Richard and Google there's no such thing as SEO competition information. We do use the competition metrics as kind of a guideline, so you'll know if a keyword is going to be competitive or not with paid traffic. But really, yeah, just to be clear on that. Thank you, Andrew. I'll make a note of that for her.
I'm going to use this one. This came from Shirley. Shirley put this into the chat. So I'm going to go into esthetician training, and I'm going to take out the Caesar Milan, and I'm just going to get ideas.
Okay.
And as soon as I put keyword ideas, immediately esthetician online good schools, schools for aesthetics, esthetician tuition cost. So surely this is how you can start to see that if you were to rank, just as an example, for a good esthetician school, yes, there's only 20 searches a month, right? But somebody pays $18.84 to be in the top position. So if you ranked locally, they're still going to pay the money to be there. But wouldn't it be awesome if you ranked locally for that? So maybe I would take this and I would say good esthetician school in Podunk, Idaho, in, Smallville, Texas. That's the way that you start to rank a site. You can start to look at this. Best medical esthetician schools, $5.21. All of these have high competition with low search volume. So I would think that if you made these a little more, especially if you did something online, I can just see how you could just knock it out. Esthetician supplies, you might want to rank for that. It's still not that high. It's a low bid, but 1,900 average monthly searches. You could talk about trading, but see, I don't think this would be your client. Schools Chicago. So I'm going to go by monthly searches versus competition, and you can see esthetician, cosmetology, and you start to go down, and this is what people search for. So what is an esthetician? Okay, right here. If somebody's thinking about that, this might be a good term for you, Shirley. And I would come down and I would start looking, okay, all of these are high. Medical esthetician salary, aesthetic school. So, I mean, these are the types of things that everybody wants to kind of look at and really think about when you're making your decisions. Now, at my agency, we use a program called Raven Tools, and I pay an agency price, and I just want to share this. It's very
I
similar
love.
to, do you use this?
Oh no, we do. I also work in an agency. It's not mine, but I do work for one. I love Raven Tools. It's not cheap, but it's a great tool though.
Well, I use this for one reason. Besides the reporting, etc., one of the things that I like about this is I can submit a URL, a domain, a keyword, or a phrase, and it will give me all of that information very, very simply. So I say this, Shirley, I've showed you the free ways to get that. On the back end, Dory has her domain tools where you can go in and you can look at your competition in many ways. You can look at, all of your ranking reports, etc. And we use Dory's tools also because even almost any let's see here, how do I want to say this? Almost any tool. So I was checking all of these rankings and I ran this yesterday on Page One Engine. But almost any ranking tool at all that you find, one of the things that I have found is I've not found one yet that will do what Dory's tool will do with the percentages from link density to look at your backlinks. But we haven't even really talked from an expert standpoint of how to build the backlinks. She's going to release her 500 links for a public domain. I mean, that's really about building it for a private domain. But you can start to see that there's, like, if I had put in, when I built my campaign, if I had put my competitors in, I still would have had to put in the keywords that I wanted to know what they rank for. So when I go to a thing like Raven Tools, I can look at esthetician training and I can see in one swoop what the Google AdWords is, what the local trend is, what the global trend is, what the local average is, global average, competition, URLs in the anchor, domains, and see right here where it says Majestic, that's just where they pull from. And I use tools like this in short because I like to use Majestic, Moz, SEMrush, and this happens to pull all of them into one interface. So I just wanted to show this because I think that it's an interesting way to be able to get good information because I can click on this and actually go into AdWords because I've clicked my AdWords account to this. So instead of going into Keyword Planner, I can go in here and get the same information that I can get right here. So I wanted to be clear on that this gives me things like laser esthetician training. Here says 480 searches. What does Keyword Planner say? Esthetician training at the very top, 720 monthly searches, and I did this for, where am I looking? I think all locations. So interesting. Jeff, do you see this sometimes where they're different places? Because this is showing me 720 searches, and this is showing me 480. This must be a local. So it just shows you how some things vary.
Actually, real quick, and go back to the Keyword Planner real quick, please.
Yeah.
I want to see, are you local for there? See, you've got all locations, yeah, so it's probably local, you're right.
Yeah. So when I'm in Raven Tools, I mean, I can see just another whole way to look at this. So some people, do you say tomato? I like to show people things that don't cost money. So remember, our tools in Page One Engine aren't costing you money. When you use Google Trends, which is on this other screen, this isn't going to cost you money. When you go to your analytics, your Google Analytics. So I'm here, and let's see here. We can go look at Google Analytics also because I'm signed in for that account here. So I know I'm doing a lot of things live versus going through a long PowerPoint, but sometimes I think that that's just best when you're actually showing people exactly what to do, because that's one of the things that we asked everybody to do, is to really learn about these things. And so you can see right here, this is for Seal Beach SEO, and it shows how much traffic has happened per day, just so that you guys can see what that is. And it will tell you what all of the traffic is, what the source of it's from. So somebody, I'm sure, is like, well, where are they coming from? So this tells us right here, floating share button. So this is a referral. So sometimes I think this might even be spam. There's been a thing in analytics that says that this is organic. What, Jeff?
Yeah, that's the referral spam website, floatingsharebuttons.com.
Yeah, so somebody's trying to kill me there with that. So thanks a lot if you know who that person is. But I think it happens to us all. But then you can see right here, I mean, all of these are just different places that we've gotten some, acquisition of real traffic. And it shows this for a time period. You can come in here and it will show you, this is where the traffic's from, and I will show you where you can get your queries. So just like I got those same queries in Google Webmaster Tools, this shows you, this is probably when the course was released, and my course was the first one. So my traffic has definitely died down. You can see what the impressions are according to Google. And it says here, no data is available for the last 2 days. Down here on the right, it says 1 out of 10. So I'll just make this, I only have 65 keywords together, and it tells you what the impressions are. So the impressions versus the clicks versus position. So my average position is 20. My click-through rate is 2.61%. So it looks a little different from analytics than it does in Webmaster Tools. So I'm hoping that you all have Webmaster Tools, and I'm hoping that you all have analytics. I'm hoping that you've been able to see all of this. I'm kind of going to quit sharing my screen. Well, maybe I can just put up the thing, and I think we just need to kind of hit it with some questions.
And there you go. I see your slide again.
Okay. So let's ask questions. Let's knock these out.
All right. Do you want me to go through those, or do you want to go through them yourself, or what?
You can ask me, or I can go through them.
Well, Kathy's asking how to use the Keyword Planner. I think we just kind of covered that briefly. Did you want to go over that, or isn't that covered in the main training somewhere?
It's not covered in the main training, but what I always like to say about a Google tool is you're going to get, Kathy, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to tell you how to do that. Jeff's way is going to be different than my way. My way is going to be different than Dory's way. The cool thing about Google Planner is that if you have an AdWords account, there's a million videos and they show you exactly how to use it. If you want to use Google Trends, just go to YouTube. Hey, what's the best way to use Google Trends? It's all free, all of it. So that's just kind of how I, like to approach that.
You roll. No, for sure. It's funny. I've seen I do keyword research one way. Dory does another way. That's very true. Find what works for you. Learn the basics, and you're going to find little things that work for you that you might do that someone else does completely differently, but you're still going to both get equally awesome results.
And I see a question in here from DS. Could you tell us the best theme for Amazon products? You know, I will just tell you, as somebody who sells something on Amazon and I rank for a couple of things in Google, the way that I approach Amazon is two ways. I look at it as, how do I want to rank on Google for Amazon, and how do I want to rank in Amazon? And I look at those things differently because I'm in charge of the keywords outside of Amazon and inside Amazon. I mean, they just changed how many letters you can have in the title. They just, they give you the ability to put keywords on the back end. You know, how you write your title is how your name is going to come up in your super URL. So there's a lot of fine tuning, I feel like, that goes into ranking on Amazon. Ranking in Google for Amazon, I think if you have, let's just say that you're selling Halloween costumes and you have a website that's called Halloween Costumes, you want to do everything that we're talking about. Now, if you want your Amazon page to rank in Amazon, Dory went over that very specifically. She believes in sending links to different things on that page, whether it be your actual URL, which is your ASIN number that's at the end of the of the URL for Amazon, or to some of your reviews, because that pushes links to your Amazon page, which will help it rank in Google. I hope I answered that. Did you understand what I was saying there, Jeff?
So I was actually just answering a question in the chat while you were saying that. But no, absolutely. Let me just click send to all so everyone gets that. Actually, Kathy was asking about the best theme for WordPress, and I responded, well, tell me what the best car is first. I like BMWs myself. And that's really a vague question is what I was telling Kathy, and it really depends on what your needs are. I mean, I use a few different things myself. I know that Lisa's recommended the BE theme, which I've looked at. That looks amazing as well. So really, guys, you're going to find there is no best product on Amazon. There's no best WordPress theme. There's no best way to do keyword research. You need to really look into that yourself and find out what fits your needs, what works for you.
Yeah, and I just want to say, there's a lot of things that, people look at things differently. If you put something in that is has a low query in Google Planner, and it says, hey, there's only 50 people that search for this, or there's only 100 people that search for this, or there's, a lot of times people will say, well, and this happened last week, well, why would you even go for that? And I just want to say this again. People are going to say, oh, that means that there's no searches for it, so why do you want to rank for that? I'm going to tell you, you go find 100 things that have 10 searches, and you rank for those 10 things. It should be very easy because nobody searches for it, right? But I'll tell you what, you show up over and over again to those 10 people, that's going to give you some credibility. And I'm not saying to go for, I usually like to rank for things that have higher searches, but when you start a brand new site with no linking, you want to create a niche to it. Does that make sense? So, and Jessica, when you were talking about, the veterinarian and also the vegetarian and vegan recipes and reviews, one thing that I like that Jeff does that is different, how he approaches, like when DK talks about building a site for affiliate linking versus Jeff talking about doing a site for launch jacking, really they're both affiliates. But the bottom line is Jeff's branding his name, and then when he gives credibility by doing a review or talking about something, he's always pushing his site up so that people come to his to his site, so he's building traffic for himself. So when he gives a bonus or he's doing a launch or he's doing a push. Whereas for DK, if you build a site and that site is built all around that product, then you always have a niche in the ethers that you can use over and over again. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It just depends on what route you want to go. So I love, Jessica, that you have a lot of things that you're looking at. But if you're going to really get into affiliate marketing or launch jacking, you have to decide what approach you want to take so that as you build your one site or many sites, you're able to really handle it. Because on here you said, pet name with name of site, or would that be too specific? And I would say to you, you have to think about how you want to go about that. You know, do you want to get Fido Fetches and talk about everything about dogs, or do you want to get something that is the best dog food bowl ever.com and just talk about dog food bowls because you know that you make $6 for every dog food bowl you sell? So there are some decisions that you need to really make with that. And I think that sometimes when you look at these things, you have to, most people are beginner to intermediate. And I can see in here, some people have been around a long time. Like I see Clint in here. I love you, Clint. Just want to say that because he's on another webinar that Erock does. And I will just say that, as the advanced courses start to unroll, the whole purpose is so that everybody understands from building a site to using tools to understanding the basics. Because when you get ready to build your own private blog network, things that nobody is going to touch, you're going to be in charge of how you build it, how you build your keyword, how you do your research, what content you put on, and nobody's going to touch it but you. And if you choose to use some of Dory's tools to manage it, you will have the ability to link in very unique ways. So I hope that, and I see Bill, how Howie Schwartz is really into that, but you're meaning Halloween costumes. I saw him do a speech once about how he kills it every year, Bill, with Halloween costumes. So Richard is asking to define impressions versus clicks. So in everything Google, they want to let you know when your site is seen. So let's say, for example, I'll just bring up a Google window again. Jeff, tell me that you can see my site, my page.
Drag it over, and there we are. Yeah, we're good.
So if I was just to do a search, and this search is called peanut butter fingers. I don't know what those are. But when you look at peanut butter fingers, well, I'm going to get something else. Let me go peanut butter. So when I look up peanut butter, let me just do this differently. Let's just say almond. So before I can even finish it, we see the drop down: almond butter nutrition, almond surfboards. I'm going to go with almond milk. So when I pull this up, what I can tell you is if you're an e-commerce store and you're looking at the opportunity to sell through the Google store, these three people are getting an impression. But if I click on jet.com, they get the click. If I go down organically, and you can see all of these different places that are here, including what's in the news, all the way down. If I click on grist.org, they're the ones that are going to get the click. But this Wikipedia, Mother Jones, Silk, Business Insider, all of these would show that they had an impression in their analytics on Google Webmaster Tools and in Google Analytics. If you're doing pay-per-click, which I don't see any pay-per-click here, so let's do something like dog collars.
And real quick, actually, Andrew pointed out an amazing analogy for this. Andrew said it's like this: impressions are people walking by your store, while clicks are people walking through the door.
Yeah, that's a great impression. Thanks, Andrew. That's awesome.
Andrew, that's awesome. Thank you. We both said that's awesome. That too was awesome.
So see here on dog collar tags, this is an ad, so they're number one, so they pay a little more than these other two. They pay a little more than showing up on the right. This is your organic. But if I click on this, I walk through the door, it looks like I might buy from here. Then what happens is in my AdWords ads, I still, all of these people all the way down got an impression. So it counts to what your click-through rate is because it says impression versus click. So on this particular page, we have ads that would show impressions versus click. In the e-commerce side, you would see it here, and then you would see it here for organically. I hope that was helpful there.
I see. Actually, yeah, a bunch of people saying thank you, so that's good. Yeah.
Uh, let's see here. I'm looking to see. This is a paid search keyword competition, not SEO competition.
Oh, I already covered that one. That was why you were in the. I think you were at the top of the questions, not the bottom. But
Oh
that
yeah,
was that was regarding the keyword planner itself, looking at the low competition for paid traffic.
yeah. So okay, so guys, we're looking at all of these things. I want everybody to type if you have. I see Shirley said, do you think I should create a different website that is just for linking to my Amazon products? Shirley, I don't understand that. You might have to ask that a different way because if you have a website and and because I think up top you were saying how you should do it. So I'm just going to use jefflenny.com because he has lots of different things on his site. So let's say you had Shirley, and I won't say your name out loud, um, .com, and you reviewed products and you put links to your Amazon products, and they would go there. For me, I want to rank for my niche. So I only have one Amazon product up. So just know that I'm not an expert. I'm not making $1,000,000, but I have friends that make a lot of money on Amazon, and every product and every brand, they have a unique website and they do very well. And that's what I follow.
Makes sense to me. Do you want to take any more questions, or I think we got a. Actually, I think we got most of them here.
Yeah. Jacobina, B theme is great. It is a little hard for newbies. Listen, I gave everybody a free theme when I did my demo. And I want to just say something about WordPress really quick. People talk about themes a lot. There's a million ways to skin the WordPress cat also. What I would like to say is my agency uses, instead of themes, we use platforms. And why I say we use platforms is because we then buy the ability to use multiple themes. So we do that. So if you look at the difference between I'm just going to say, what is the difference between a WordPress platform and theme? I mean, my 2 seconds would be, oh, this isn't going to do it. So a WordPress platform would be like Genesis or StudioPress. So if I go to StudioPress and I go here and I say, hey, I want to buy one of these themes. So when you shop here, you can find any of these themes that are already done. You can go to Theme Forest. You can buy any of these themes that you want to buy. Or you can see all of the themes and you can buy one at a time. But as an agency, we buy it so that we have access to anything. So why do we do that? Because when WordPress comes out, this platform of StudioPress updates all of the themes. So I think we own 10 different platforms, but we're an agency. So people say to me all the time, well, should I go to Envato or Studio, what is a Theme Forest, and buy a theme? There's not a right or wrong way to answer that. Each one is going to be different. You just have to decide how much you want to get into building websites and mastering SEO from a website standpoint, and how much you want to look at how you're going to get into all of the different aspects of building. Do you want to master one theme, then use it over and over again? So I hope that was helpful. Let's see here. Do we have anything else? Oh, let's see here. A few more came in. La 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 la.
From you normally use? Is it Studio Press or somebody was asking that? Kathy was.
Well, I just went on and I got a free theme when I used that. I don't even my team uses so many different ones. We have Studio Press, Genesis. We own B themes. We just own so many of them, and I have affiliate links for all of them. But the reason why I'm not trying to sell that is because it's going to depend on what it is that you want. Like here's something that we use all the time. Woo. We use WooCommerce or just Woo themes. So let's just see. We use Woo themes because almost everybody likes to use WooCommerce. And so one of my clients, to give a plug at, I don't know how many people like rock and roll, but like so this is word comment, and so like we did this site, and I'm not super proud of it, but hey, it's the client, it's what they really dig. So one of my clients is I don't know if you guys have heard of Grace Slick, John Lennon, Janis Joplin. So they're Grace Slick. Let's see what comes up. So as you go down, this is her, right? This is who Grace is, for those of you who don't know. And at the bottom here, you can see Grace Slick Area Art. So their manager for all of their arts is my client. So what happens here is he manages all of these different artists. And so we put this on a certain type of theme just so that when somebody wants to buy one of the paintings, they can go to like her limited editions and they can just go in and kiss the sky of Jimi Hendrix that she did. They can buy it, they can understand, and they can add it to the cart. He doesn't sell a lot of art online, but he gets a lot of people that call him from this. So it's like every site is different. It depends on what it is that you want to really look at and do. So, and this is all WooCommerce. So I don't think that there's a right or wrong. It just depends on how you want to really approach it. And Shirley, you came back and said, so your friends make a new website for each of their Amazon product. I have 93 DVDs on Amazon. Yeah. So I might make one website for 93 DVDs because that is the brand. Like maybe you're superdvdqueen.com. I mean, I don't know what the niche of the DVDs is. My friends that do that sell different products that are not the same. Paul, I agree. Genesis child themes rock. Kathy, I use many platforms. If you buy a platform, can you switch a theme out without changing the paces of posts? Kathy, you can do that with any theme without changing the platform. You can switch, you can add any theme you want to any WordPress site without changing the post. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have, they're all of a sudden going to look different. So the short codes, everything can change. So even if you buy a platform, there's always going to be touch up for that. Let's see here. Kara's asking, the fact that we have plenty of keywords, let's say we go after 20 keywords, how should I build my site around those words? Should I build mini pages, but in each page 2 to 3 keywords, or should I go after 100 keywords? Kara, that's a great question. And I will just tell you from my experience, what I like to do is I like to do my keyword research, and then I like to get overarching technology, so overarching keyword terms. And so what I do with that is I'll use something like let's just go to the Ford website because I believe in siloing. So when you go to the Ford website, and this is a good example, you can see that they have cars, crossovers, trucks, and vans. This is pretty much their 3 things, right? So when you get in here and you go to crossovers and you click on it, you can go to the edge and it tells you everything about it right here, explore the vehicle. But this is a good example because the edge doesn't click to transit. Let me find a different one. This probably isn't the best. Let me go to I can think of a million things and all of a sudden my mind is blank. But let's go to CNN and let's see how they did their site. So if you go to CNN.com, you can see, so here's the world, politics, tech. So when you jump into each of these, it's almost like a mini website. And what the point is I wish that I could show this to you in a certain way, almost draw it out. But what you want to do is you want to have your top overarching categories, and then under it, like if you were to have apples, and then under apples it said Granny Smith apples, red apples, delicious apples, and gala apples. Gala apples would click to the overarching topic of apples. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, Kara, but I hope that that's helpful. If not, you can always hit me up on Facebook. Um, Andrew says VP themes have some amazing free themes and also paid versions. Um, Richard, you're making me laugh. Unless you're born after 2000, you probably don't even know those artists. Kathy, if you were building a membership site, what would you do? You know, that's a great thing. There's a new membership site out. I've used Wishlist before, but Kathy, you're going to have to send that to me because I know that there's a new Onyx and Gall did his whole thing in a new WordPress membership site, and I cannot. Let's see if we can find it.
I don't even know what that was. I was in there for months and months, with doing Profit Academy stuff for his students
It
also.
was DIY themes. That's another one, but it was called. I've used Wishlist, but it's a brand new. Membership site. Anyway, it's not MemberPress. I'll know it as soon as I see it. But here's one, MemberPress. See pricing and plans. But that wasn't it. Jeff, would you do me a favor? Will you post that? Will you reach out to them and see what it was?
I'm actually logging into Profit Academy right now to see if I can figure it out. But give me a second here. Maybe I can find it. But if not, I will check with Meredith or Anna and find out.
Okay. Okay.
It's a really, really cool theme. I was trying to get the name right now if I can find it.
Yeah.
I'm logged in. I don't have admin access to it.
Kathy, build silo sites. What I'm saying is it's like every single thing comes after that. Oh God, it's you would just think it would just be so easy to show that. So see right here, features, how it works, pricing. Let me think. Do I have a client site that I'm willing to show? Jeff, can I show your site?
My main jefflenny.com. That's fine. Yeah, that's fairly common knowledge. I have that.
Okay, so Jeff has internet marketing, about me. These are all of his top things. Nothing links out. Nothing. There's no drop-down menus, right? But if I click on product reviews, do you have any subcategories on any of yours?
Actually, product reviews is a subcategory of internet marketing. It's just a separate menu item, but I do not have any drop-downs at all. I want to keep it fairly simple.
Yeah. So let me think here.
So no drop-downs.
Let me pull a screen over here. I think people are going to start getting sick of us talking. Let me see. I'm just pulling something over here to see if I can get one of my clients that I have. Let me see. Let me look at this site versus. Okay, so okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this site. So if you can see, this is a site that we did, and so if you're at their homepage, this is just what you get. It's not a big deal homepage. But when you click on conditions treated and you go in here, each one of these leads you to another site. Shoulder conditions, when you click on shoulder conditions, just as an example, it may talk about shoulders, but you can't go from shoulders only to conditions treated because this is the most important topic. So each one of these, even though each of these is a topic, you can't click to one another from there. So Google sees all of these as having, like, this one page would have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. That's clearly eight links going back to conditions treated. That would be a silo. I don't know. I hope that that was helpful, Nancy. I hope that you understand that. What with subdomains can I make my own PBN? Oh, you could, but I don't think that I would. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would
I
not
wouldn't.
recommend.
I wouldn't do that because remember, a PBN is to always create links to links to links. So you're creating kind of spammy links like her public network to another site that you're trying to start to get some quality. So I would not do that. Click funnels. What, Clint? Why did you say click funnels? Let's go see. I trust this guy. Click funnels. I'm hoping that this is a site that he's saying to go show silos.
Well, no, it's a lead. It's a squeeze page creator. ClickFunnels is like
Yes,
lead
but I think
pages.
he's. I think he's indirectly talking to me.
All right.
No, he's not.
No hidden message.
Okay, thanks, Clint. Okay, guys. So as we're going back out, Nancy says smart member, new membership site. Um, S2 member is awesome. So smart member is what you're looking for. So let's go look at this. SMARTMEMBER. Thanks, Nancy. Smart member. This is what she's saying. Smart member. Watch me build a website. Is this it? It says smart member, but I don't sign up as a beta user.
I am
Well,
not
here it
familiar with
says
Smart
watch me
Member.
build a membership site, some sort
Also,
of profits. Was this it? Do you know?
I think it was maybe a recommendation for a membership site.
Yeah, I don't know if this works. I've not used this, but
Right.
this looks like it might be just really cool. So
It
thanks,
looks,
Nancy.
yeah, it looks pretty smart. Eh?
Yeah,
Eh? Oh, it's by Chris Record. Okay, I recommend it then. Anything by Chris is usually pretty solid. So yeah. Um,
and Clint, the CMS on Page One Engine, she had it custom designed. It's not a WordPress site or there's no CMS. Everything is done. So, with that, guys, I think we're kind of getting towards the end here. There's a slide in Greg Montoya's course which shows the silo layout. That's right, Emmer. Thank you very much. And he does a great job at showing that. So, let's see here. Nathan gave me this. Nathan gave me this link. Hey, thank you, Nathan. You rock. Home power tools,
oh, there we go.
category, all of these support this in
Oh, there we go.
silo links. Nathan, thank you so much. You know,
That's
it's
actually
like,
really,
that's a
that's,
great thing.
oh, by all means.
Heat map theme, silo storm. What's the heat map thing? You know, I'm such a geek. As soon as I see something like this, somebody storing it up there, I'm going to go look and see if this is a theme because that's how I roll. Nathan, is it a theme? Heat map theme.
Ooh, is it AdSense theme? Well, hi, Sam, I'm kind of. Ooh, that looks
Hello,
nice.
Heat Map Adaptive Pro. Want to see more of me?
I
Click
do.
missile plugin. I do. So, I mean, this kind of just tells you some things that are there. So, I don't know if you use that theme, Nathan, but thanks for showing. Maybe you sell it, and maybe I just gave you some free love. So, I hope I did. But, guys, we're going to be signing off now. Really, I want you to know that. Oh, it's saying that they can't hear us, but um,
I told Kathy to log out and back in, and she's
yeah.
responding now, so I think she hears us now.
Okay, good. So, just so that everybody knows, let's just have a good prayer for Dory. She'll be back here next week, and we'll talk to everybody later. Jeff, thank you
Awesome.
for being on with me.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you guys as always for being here. If I can say one thing, I see a lot of names I'm familiar with. If you guys are not yet a part of our Facebook group and our membership area forum, please, please, please join up. I'm on there myself every day, and as we got other coaches on there, Dory's on those as well. So if you guys have any questions we weren't able to answer, or if you want to maybe run your website by us for us to take a look at, or if you just have a question about a particular tactic for linking or a niche, for example. Again, guys, you're not just limited to get our assistance, from these webinars. So make sure you hit us up on those. Do not be shy.
Yep.
And having said that, yeah, actually, someone suggested Profit Builder. That's actually a great tool, but it's really more of a squeeze page generator. I actually do use it myself, but I don't think it does sites outside of squeeze page style of pages that I'm aware of
Yeah.
at least. But
Yeah. So, okay, guys, we'll all talk later. Have a good one. Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now, and then you and
awesome,
I can stay on. I'll take it off air, okay? And stay on
cool.
with me for a second.